you very much, Lord Alfred Hayes. And in a moment, we shall have our first guest. However, just to elaborate a little bit on the appearance of Gama Singh, whom we'll be seeing later on, Gama has brought with him apparently a huge Indian rock python. We look forward to that. That's a most unusual looking snake.
Well, you may look forward to it. I don't think I do.
You are
well, as long as I view it at a distance.
Alfred, I'm sure he's going to want to come real close to you.
You'll make sure of that.
Speaking of snakes, no, not really. No, many of you might consider our next guest something less than cordial from time to time in the squared circle. Would you please welcome Cowboy Bob Orton? In the audience there, Mr. Orton. I guess you're accustomed to that.
From Piper's Pit, Daddy, that's the real snake. Piper's Pit. The evil, devilish snake. That's the one that'll get you. That's the one that'll get you, man.
Speaking of getting you or getting an opponent or whatever, how's your arm coming along?
It's bad, Vince.
When you were last here on TNT, we had our own resident physician check the arm over, and apparently he felt as though from everything he could determine, both from a muscularity standpoint, ligaments and whatever, certainly as a bone structure standpoint, that the arm is 100% healed. Since that time, it's been over a month now.
Roddy and we've determined that he was a quack. So really, I don't care what that guy says. The arm's bad, it feels bad, it hurts, the pain is there. It's just terrible. Man, it's hard to live with, but I do.
So you live and wrestle with pain, then, in essence?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, what we'd like to do, then, is to show some videotape footage of you actually wrestling with your arm in this condition, or perhaps it was not even as in good a condition as it is today. But nonetheless, let's take you now to Cowboy Bob Orton meeting individual competition. The introductions have been made.
Refer to him as Ace. He's a friend of mine, Jack. And if you'll notice, Orton did suffer an injury to that left forearm, and he still has a cast, and that takes a lot of guts, to step into the ring with an injured forearm and a cast on your forearm.
Oh, it certainly does, especially when it's a plastic cast. Although I will say one thing, that the physicians of the World Wrestling Federation have granted Cowboy Bob Orton permission to wrestle professionally.
Well, then what's all the bellyache about?
Well, I think it's an edge. I really do. Hey, listen, look at that. Marcus and Orton going at it right now. Oh, Orton gave him an elbow smash to the side of the jaw, and Marcus came right back with a hard right hand.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob Marcus is a seasoned veteran, and as tough as Cowboy Bob Orton is, Ace, Marcus isn't going to lay down and die for him.
There's a knee, look at that. Oh, tremendous shot in there by Cowboy Bob Orton to the top of the head of Bob Marcus. And now he's got him up on top. Look at this. Big body slam in there by Cowboy Bob Orton. There's the knees, the knee to the throat area.
Now, if you notice, Jack, when Cowboy Bob went to slam him, he had trouble because of that cast. Everybody's saying Orton is using that cast as a weapon, but I don't feel so. I feel it's a hindrance to have that on. I've seen Bob Orton better without that cast.
Well, he's pounding away right now, and Bob Marcus trying to get his second thoughts, trying to get things back, trying to get the cobwebs out right now, as Orton punishing his opponent. Look at that. Marcus coming back now with a couple of shoulder smashes. Nice takedown by Bob Marcus.
You see how quickly Bob Orton reversed that, though?
Yes.
Like you said, technician. Bob Orton can wrestle, he can rough it up, and he takes brilliant orders from Roddy Piper.
Yes, that he does. I will say one thing. He is the master of that super suplex.
Oh. Did you see what he just did to him there, Jack? Drove his forehead right into that canvas.
Yeah, he's been pounding away. He's working on the head very well on Bob Marcus. There again, with a hard right hand to the top of the head of Bob Marcus. Marcus right now is stunned. He is. Look at this. What's he gonna do?
Beautiful reverse backbreaker by Bobby Orton right there. We like it, Bob. We like it.
Orton right now gonna go for there. Look at this, coming up on top. Look out. A hard right hand to the side of the jaw. And now, here he comes. He's calling, look at this.
The superplex. Unbelievable.
Look at that move.
Whoa.
Wow. That's it. There is no way in the world Bobby Marcus is going to come back after that tremendous super suplex.
Jack Reynolds, I don't think even you
No.
can get up from that.
Not too many individuals can, indeed. Have you ever have anyone, Mr. Orton, reverse the hold or not succumb to a counter three after you have delivered the superplex?
Never, and it'll never happen. Roddy Piper is very proud of that fact, too. What do you think of the Rolex he gave me?
Very nice.
He's got a little
Roddy
time
Piper
off.
gave you that Rolex?
Yes,
Why?
yes,
Why?
because he's got a little time off. I've got to hold down the fort, so he give me a little present. Nice of him. I loves my hot rod.
Let me ask you a question. Mr. Piper, of course, is your manager. Without, well, perhaps you can. Maybe it's not so personal after all. How much of your money, percentage-wise, does Roddy Piper take?
Oh, Roddy Piper takes very good care of me, Vince.
But in terms of, does he take 50% of the money you earn? Does he take 30%?
You get
about
things
how
all
much?
wrong. See, Roddy pays me.
I understand that.
I'm his bodyguard. He takes very good care of me. I mean, hey, you just don't give everybody a $10,000 watch, you know.
Alfred, what would you estimate that Mr. Piper's cut might be in terms of the efforts of Cowboy Bob Orton?
Well, I would look at his heritage, firstly. He's a Scot, Piper, and they are noted to be pretty stingy, miserly, and I would say that he's lucky if he gets $200 or $300 every time he works for Piper.
I'm sure that certainly would not be the case. Someone of your qualifications, certainly in contention of the World Wrestling Federation Championship, but it might be, Mr. Orton, it might be something that you might want to look into. I mean, because, you know, managers, some managers only take 10% of the earnings of the individual that they manage. Some even less than that. It could very well be that you might want to look into this.
Well, I keep myself in horses and blue jeans. I'm happy.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's been your pleasure, I'm sure.
Cowboy Bob Orton, managed by Roddy Piper. Mr. Orton certainly in contention for the WWF title, and certainly we'll be seeing a great deal of him in weeks to come. Thank you, boys. In the World Wrestling Federation, of course, you will meet all walks of life in terms of the competitors, and certainly that would encompass our next guest, hailing from the country of India, the continent of India, I suppose. Would you please welcome Mr. Gama Singh? It seems to me that many individuals, much like yourself, coming into the United States, would almost suffer some sort of cultural shock as compared to the native culture that you're accustomed to. Did you have any problems adapting to the American way of life?
Well, the cultures are very, very different, and the weather is very, very different also. I've had a lot of language problems for first coming over here. So as you can see, I've spent some time and I picked up on the language. And then the food is very, very different as well, because we don't eat beef over in my country, and beef is one of the main sources of protein in this country here.
Yes, and I would think that traveling around the world as you do, that in the United States here it would present some unusual problems, both not only from a nutritional standpoint, but how do the fans react to you in the United States as compared to your native country?
Well, the fans here, I don't think they quite understand the way I dress. They see the turban on my head and they sort of see me as Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves.
All right, what we'd like to do right now is to take a look at you, at what you do best. We'll take you to some videotape footage, Gama Singh in action, after which we'll have some more commentary, and then the Snakes are going to join us as well, I believe. But let's take you now to the videotape footage, Gama Singh in pro wrestling action. And Mr. Butler has been training, I believe, with a young man by the name of, let's see, almost a 3 count there, very quickly. I think a young man we've seen before by the name of Lepois, something along those lines.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But right now he's in there against Gama Singh, who is a fine wrestler. I like this guy. He's got some beautiful maneuvers that he pulls in that ring. Look at this. Very clever wrestler.
Yes. And Butler has Gama Singh against the rope. Shelton to the near side, waits for him, and waited for the shoulder block. Yeah, it looks a little bit like some of the... Oh, look at that arm drag takedown. Really whipped him down. Head scissor.
He whipped him down, but he overextended himself with his head, and that's how he got scissors, although he kicked out of that nice and easily. Butler did.
Single leg dive on the part of Gama Singh from India. Butler having his problems at the moment as Gama Singh. There's an unusual hold, Bruno.
Yes, that was almost like a toe hold, really, but it's like scraped him right across the face, and now he takes Gama's leg.
Whoa!
Wow, came right down on him.
Kick out by Gama Singh. Butler up, but not for long. Gama being able to shove the foot to the side. And there, he's got an unusual hold again.
Look at that. He's putting really a lot of pressure, not only on the knee, but right above the foot there, below the ankle. And that can really hurt. Now he let go for what? Let me see here. For a flying mare? I don't understand that. Much more punishing hold on the other one than this.
Gama always moving in there, always changing from hold to hold. And Gama going nowhere. Hooked the rope there with his arm. Yes, he is now for the ride. Off shoulder, no. Knee to the midsection, and an elbow follows the rope. Gama now trying to set up his opponent. Butler takes a shot to the midsection. Gama Singh has him in the air. Nicely done. Suplex by Gama Singh.
Whoa. Now what?
Gama is up on the top rope. Drop kick right in the throat area. Gama Singh hooking the leg and gets a 3 count. All right, victorious Gama Singh. And you were speaking earlier that here in the United States there is some misunderstanding actually in terms of perhaps your appearance. Certainly there's a great deal of differences you brought out earlier with your culture, certainly religious aspect. Is totally different. The Sikh religion of which you remember is different than that here in the United States and presents all kind of problems, I would think.
Well, that's right. You know, the Sikh religion is a fairly new religion. It's only about 500 years old. And a lot of people wonder why.
That's about the same age as Alfred, I believe. No, Alfred.
It's vying. It's vying.
And the reason why we wear turbans is back in those days there was a lot of wars, a lot of fights with the Mughals, the Persians, and so forth. And the Sikhs, in order to identify themselves, wore turbans.
Very interesting. We're going to have some more interesting comments and some questions and whatever it may be from Gama Singh. When we return, we're going to have the Snakes, Indian rock python. Yeah. This is an Indian rock python.
That's right. This is an Indian rock python, and it is one of the endangered species in the world.
Beautiful, beautiful snake, isn't it? Gorgeous. Now, what would this snake, easy for me to say, but what would this snake eat? How often does a snake eat?
Well,
hopefully he's not hungry at this moment.
This particular one, I usually feed it about every 4 to 6 days.
He looks hungry to me. Hey, hold him. Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy. 4 to 6 days,
every 4 to 6 days.
And what would he is hungry. Now, what would this snake eat?
Well, I would feed this one chickens.
Maybe he wants to go back in his box. I don't know.
Yes, maybe we should just put it back in the box for now.
Why don't you move the box a little bit? open the thing, and we can kind of
Oh, gosh.
you can kind of look from afar. 4 to 6 days, and it eats
Golly.
Chicken,
chickens.
ducks,
Give it a
rabbits,
chicken, for goodness sake.
anything but
Yeah. What about people? Any? No. That is a very. I bet that's a strong snake.
it's a very powerful snake, and that's actually just a baby.
No kidding. How big do they get, Kama?
Well, this particular one is 10.5 feet, but 45 pounds. But when it's fully matured,
Yeah.
they go up to about 24.5 feet, about 150 to 200 pounds.
24 feet.
Yes. And once it gets to that size, then you can't feed them rabbits and chickens or anything that small. You have to resort
Humans.
to goats and almost humans, I would say. Yes.
Goats?
They have been known to swallow small children in India.
Yes, that's unfortunate.
Gosh, that is awful.
There are other unusual animals in India, of course, as compared to here in the United States. Elephants.
Yes, we have plenty of elephants and camels and Bengal tigers.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Yes, but very dangerous.
Yes, they are big, aren't they?
Oh, huge. A Bengal tiger, I imagine, goes about 400 or 500 pounds, and very, very vicious, and very powerful with their on their feet.
What about a mongoose? Don't they fight snakes?
Yes, mongoose is a very well known animal that is one of the very few animals that can actually kill a cobra snake. It's actually faster. It has more speed than a cobra snake does.
Yeah, that's fast. Almost as fast as you are in the squared circle. That's one of your greatest assets is your speed and your extraordinary agility. And you combine that with drop kicks off the top rope, things of that nature. And I guess that competing with, especially here in the United States, some individuals 300 pounds or whatever, you have to have other assets going for you.
That's right, because especially in the States, you have so many big guys, around 300 pounds or over 300 pounds, and a man my size, 230 pounds, have to be in terrific condition. Conditioning is very, very important, and of course, like you say, speed is very important to me as well.
Is wrestling as popular in India as it is here in the United States?
I would say equally as popular, if not more.
Is that right?
We are used to seeing crowds of in excess of 100,000 per night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Alfred, have you ever wrestled in India?
Yes, I have. And it's like baseball in America. Each village has its own champion. And then they fight off against other villages, and then they go statewide, and eventually they go nationwide. There are just millions of wrestlers in India.
The name Singh conjures up from someone with a wrestling background all kinds of champions and whatever. Is that just a very, very common name like Jones would be here in the United States, or does it denote...
The name Singh is actually a middle name for the male in the Sikh religion. And what it actually means is tiger-hearted. Because back in, like I said, when the Sikh religion first started, the Sikhs actually defended their nation, and they got that name, Singh, at that time. So it's been, if you're a male Sikh, then you're obviously a Singh.
And if you're not a very good professional wrestler, whatever it may be, then they give you to the Indian rock pythons or whatever it may be, huh?
I sure hope not.
We would like to thank you very, very much for joining us on TNT and also bringing along...
Actually, that was the small one I brought along. I got a couple of bigger ones. Like I said, I didn't want to bring them along because nobody wanted to carry them.
Oh, we would really look forward to those.
Well,
but thank you
some other time.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. We'll have more of TNT and perhaps more of who knows what. Maybe the Snake will join us a little later on. We'll be back with more TNT. We're back with more TNT. Gama has left us along with a snake. He brought more than one snake, but he had a couple he left home, apparently.
That one was enough for me.
That was a big dude.
And a hungry one.
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, and an individual, as a matter of fact, that you saw earlier on holding that snake, that whatever he weighed, 50 pounds or whatever, very, very strong python, is our next guest who, no doubt about it, has a lot of intestinal fortitude in the ring and just proved that he has it outside the ring as well. Would you please welcome B. Brian Blair. Now, Brian, you've had the abdominal stretch applied on you any number of times. What did it feel like when that snake was around you?
Well, Vince, I don't mind telling you, I'm still shaking. I don't know how he talked me into grabbing that snake there. I didn't think it was that strong. You know, those things are powerful.
Yes.
I'm going to have to start getting on that snake's diet and its workout routine, I think.
Well, I don't think you could. The snake is certainly not in the great condition you are, although the snake looked like he was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it definitely was strong. You got to hold that thing sometime. You wouldn't believe
Really?
it. Really. Promise. Serious. Big time strong. Real strong. Scary, too.
Good training, though, right?
I don't know, you know, this is TNT. You can say whatever you want. I know I'm supposed to be a tough wrestler and all that kind of stuff, but I'm still shaking a little bit.
Well, the snake almost got away. As a matter of fact, and Alfred had his eyes. The fastest I've ever seen Alfred move a moment ago.
I ran.
Yes. Alfred had his beady eyes on the snake.
The snake had no legs, but I was still faster than him.
Yeah, I'm going to send one of those to your wife, Alfred.
I eat her or something. I don't.
I don't think so. Alfred, let's take you now to where we see B. Brian Blair more often, not holding snake. Let's take you to videotape footage.
Athletes. Quick go behind by Mr. Blair. Nice reversal on the part of Lombardi, only to be reversed again. Kick out, right back up. Blair snapping him right down.
This Blair's a fine-looking athlete. He's been it's just been very exciting to watch. He knows he's a beautiful wrestler. He knows all the moves and he uses him. He executes well all the time, always in tip-top shape. And he certainly is a favorite to crowds because they appreciate good wrestling, and he certainly provides that for them.
Shoulder block. My goodness. Blair over now, right back at Lombardi. Lombardi missing with a trip up, drop toe hold. That's nicely done by B. Brian Blair.
No! No!
Lombardi, concerned that he has been unable to thwart the attack of B. Brian Blair thus far.
Well, he's upset. He went for that drop toe hold, and Brian Blair saw it. He just leaped up in the air, made a miss, and then he came up with a drop toe hold of his own. And he's very effective, and he's had Lombardi under control ever since.
Lombardi having his problems. Now back to the standing position. Mr. Blair winding him up a bit. Boy, Blair is in some fantastic condition.
Not an ounce of fat on his body. Look at him. He's 234 pounds. He almost looks lean because it's all bone and muscle. He's just very agile.
Clean break asked by the referee as Lombardi hooked the rope. Favoring his left shoulder a little bit now, Mr. Lombardi. Getting absolutely no sympathy whatsoever from this crowd. Armin Carey takedown. Blair will show you all of the basics and then some in the squared circle. Lombardi with his perhaps the best offensive move he's made yet with the foot on the rope.
It's frustrating for a guy like Lombardi because he's a big fella. He's pretty aggressive, but here he meets the likes of Brian Blair that just completely outmaneuvering him. He's so fast that Lombardi hasn't been able to execute anything, and that's got to frustrate the man quite a bit.
Blair with Lombardi now, whips him to the ropes, tries to set it up, goes downstairs. Lombardi coming right back at Blair, goes over him again, right back, nice arm drag takedown. That was almost a shoulder block and a arm drag takedown all at the same time.
Yeah, it looked that way, and Lombardi's the one who felt it.
Blair driving his left shoulder into Lombardi's right shoulder, spinning him a little bit and grabbing the arm and snatching him right over, and he continues to work on the left arm of Steve Lombardi. Uh-oh, regular face by Lombardi. Over to the rope. Ooh, those rope burns were smart.
They sure will. Boy, that Lombardi really looks like he's angry now. Look at him. Ooh.
Nice maneuver, covers. One is all he can get there on B. Brian Blair. Ooh, the kick to the midsection. Blair going downstairs again. And what a right hand on the side of the head of Lombardi.
Boy, that connected. Big slam.
Driving the knee right into the forehead. B. Brian Blair in control at the moment. Drops the elbow on the head of Steve Lombardi. To the ropes. Oh, wow, with a slingshot. What's Blair doing? Blair going round and round the ring post. Wait a minute. No, he's coming up now. Blair! Oh, my! Right into the head, the cover, hooks the leg, and the 3 count.
All right, tremendous victory, B. Brian Blair. Tell me a little something about, of course, hailing from Tampa, where many extraordinary athletes hail from. There's going to be a B. Brian Blair Day, we understand.
Right, what it is actually, Vince, is a wrestling tournament. I was fortunate when I went to junior high school, we had a wrestling program, and right now there's no junior high school wrestling program in the state of Florida. So what I've done is gotten together with the PAL, the Police Athletic League, and a friend of mine there, Corporal Larry Siegel, has given me a lot of help, and we've gotten together with all the police athletic leagues, and we're going to have a tournament, and they happen to name a first annual Brian Blair Kids Wrestling Tournament sponsored by the Police Athletic League.
That's tremendous. What, open, is it an open invitation? Or
Right, it's for kids 14 and under, and as a matter of fact, we have some female wrestlers.
Really?
Yes, sir, we sure do. And I was kind of hesitant about it at first, but we pretty much try to put them together, and they really enjoy it. In Oklahoma and some of the other states, they have female wrestlers in a higher level. And like I said, this is for kids 14 and under, and in September we'll have the tournament. And we're going to have a lot of participation. We're really looking forward to it.
This might seem like a silly question, but did the girls compete with the boys?
Once in a while, it seems like the boys kind of want to get in there a little, you know, they want to,
Sure.
They got their minds.
I mean,
you
at
know,
that age,
boys
I
are
mean,
boys.
you know, sure. I mean,
So we try to separate them, but the kids are great. I mean, they have so much enthusiasm, and it's so rewarding, you know, to see them. I mean, they get out there. We've got a couple 55-pounders, a couple 45-pounders, kids 5 years old, and 3 months ago they didn't know anything at all, and they're out there Granby rolling, firemen's carrying, and it's great to see somebody progress like that. And the Police Athletic League's been super. My ex-coach, my ex-high school coach, Ken Lloyd, he's been great. Mark Yost is with Hillsborough High School, and he's going to donate the gym.
this is in September? Is it?
Yes,
okay,
yes, sir.
Great. We will look forward to that. The first annual B. Brian Blair
Kids Wrestling.
Kids Wrestling Tournament. It's going to be fabulous. We thank you for joining us on TNT.
Thank you, Vince. I
All
enjoyed
right,
it.
you bet. Take care of that snake. We'll be back. All right, in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be joined by two of the, I guess, biggest names in professional wrestling today, both as wrestlers and then currently in terms of one individual as a manager. And there's no doubt that the magnificent Morocco certainly has held his share of championships and is looking forward to holding more. His manager likewise has held numerous championships in the World Wrestling Federation. Would you please welcome Mr. Fuji and the magnificent Morocco. Thank you very much for...
Good cheering.
Things are really rolling for the magnificent one and Mr. Fuji. We're all over the place. See my Arizona Outlaw t-shirt? The boys from the club gave me. Carl Larch and the defensive line was down in Phoenix the other day. Just last week, me and Fuji were on Screen Search for Tomorrow.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Be aired real soon.
Yes, we understand that there's possible movie contracts as a result of your appearance on Search for Tomorrow. Is that right,
People
Mr.
are
Fuji?
coming, the doors are knocking, opportunities are open left and right for magnificent one and Mr. Fuji.
Yes, however, if memory serves me, when we last saw you on Search for Tomorrow, according to producers, things kind of got out of hand, did they not? I mean, there was a set there.
Things can get out of hand with Magnificent Morocco and Mr. Fuji around. They can get out of hand real fast. You want to see them get out of hand?
I think we've seen them many times before. And
As the big shots in New York, you want to know about getting out of hand.
and many times, Mr. Fuji, your cane is involved. And as a matter of fact, earlier on, someone was telling me before the show, there's something you carry in that cane at all times. Is that correct?
You never know what Mr. Fuji is thinking. You never know what Mr. Fuji is doing with cane. You understand, boy, son? This cane is very magic.
Yes, but do you carry...
Magic from the East.
Yes.
Do you carry
That
anything...
is why I have employed Mr. Fuji. You see, this is where East meets West. The East and the West, the Eastern mind, the Eastern philosophy, the Eastern genius with the Western genius.
We just happen
the
to
Big
have-
Apple genius. Myself. Excuse me.
We just happen to have some special videotape footage, and it's almost like East meets West. Let's take you now to the special footage with the magnificent Morocco and Mr. Fuji.
That's ringing for Hogan. The time is coming. Your time's running out.
Yeah,
It's
the hammer be
chiming.
right on his head, and make it flat like the dam. Very good Japanese philosophy, Morocco fans. Very good.
Also,
Very good. Look at this, Morocco son. The Valley of the Temple. All in your island. Isn't it so beautiful, nice peacock on the roof? Does that remind you of Hogan or somebody?
in the midst of this serenity and peacefulness, do the people really know the torment and the hate burning within us in this spot of our meditation where we dedicate our purposes to one evil, the Hulk Hogan?
Turmoil and hate burning in you. Would you care to elaborate a little bit on that, please, Mr. Morocco?
Darkness is spreading all over Vince McMahon. Mr. Fuji and myself, you see, Hulk Hogan talks about justice all the time. Always talking about justice, always talking about the light. You ever go to City Park? You ever go to a beautiful park in the summertime? You ever try to take your kids and drop your kids off at the park? What do you got there? All Hulk Hogan, Cyndi Lauper's friends, a bunch of bums, sleeping out in the grass, laying in the dirt all over. You can't leave your kids alone. You can't walk out of your kids' hip pocket. Because these are all your Hulkamaniacs, your rock and rollers. Me and Mr. Fuji, all we are doing is fighting against injustice, because the light, you see, no longer has a justice for the people. It's the darkness from the Orient. Mr. Fuji, an expert in the expert in martial arts. Ricky Steamboat comes and talks about judo and karate. This is a man that knows darkness from ninja, the dojos, deepest in the darkest heart of Japan.
All right, if we may now, to show some of your more physical skills, we'll take you to some videotape footage. We will take a look at the magnificent Morocco as he steps into the ring to square off against Salvatore Bellomo.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. About to enter the ring, ladies and gentlemen, to my left, the manager, Mr. Fuji. And he represents from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, weighing 267 pounds, the magnificent Morocco. His opponent from Italy, weighing 240 pounds, Salvatore Bellomo.
All right, Salvatore getting quite an ovation here, and this should be an outstanding matchup. Mr. Bellomo facing the magnificent Morocco. And as far as his athletic prowess is concerned, there's a look at Mr. Morocco and Mr. Fuji back in their native Hawaii, or at least Mr. Morocco's native Hawaii. And Morocco there with a little psychological ploy on the trying to scare off a little bit Mr. Bellomo. They lock up. Morocco is an unbelievable force in the squared circle. One of the few wrestlers that really, Bruno, has it all. The strength, the stamina, the wrestling scientific skill, the roughhousing technique and all.
Unfortunately, like him or dislike him, as we know most fans don't like him, but the facts are those. He's very big, he's very strong, he can wrestle.
Look at that.
That's terrific agility for a guy that size.
Missing!
Oh.
Right back at him, Bellomo. Aha!
Well, again, that was quickness on Morocco's part. He can be extremely vicious, but he can be very scientific. And when you have all those assets, that's a hard man to beat.
Neckbreaker over goes. Salvatore Bellomo, Mr. Fuji looking on, certainly enjoying the match, at least thus far. Bellomo! Drop on the top rope.
He tried to protect himself with his hand, but no, nothing doing. He dropped him too hard. Look at this now. Look where his head is.
Oh, my. Bellomo with the bottom rope. Aha. And Fuji giving instructions. Salvatore Bellomo, again on the receiving end of more punishment dished out by the magnificent Morocco. Quite frankly, I expected, Bruno, a much better match than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, but Salvatore Bellomo usually, he gives it his all, and I thought that he would be able to give Morocco a little more competition, but so far it's been all Morocco.
Morocco peering out before this capacity crowd with a certain degree of disdain.
Belomo's hurting.
And oh, look at that. Morocco sending Belomo out. He fell on his head through the ropes, and then from there out on the concrete. You better watch Mr. Fuji. Fuji certainly not above helping the effort out of the magnificent Morocco.
For sure, it's surprising. So far, he hasn't done nothing, Fuji.
And watch the cane in the right hand of Mr. Fuji. Back inside now, Belomo with a little something behind that punch.
But not a whole lot, really.
Apparently, Morocco is just taking no. Nice reversal by Morocco. Look at this. Sal jumps out. Morocco catches him in midair. What's he going to do with him? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Down for the cover. And a 3 count on Salvatore Belomo.
Another victory for the magnificent Morocco. And don't be surprised if this rather large individual is once again on the top rung of the ladder in the World Wrestling Federation in another couple of weeks or maybe even a couple of months.
The most vicious hold in professional wrestling today. My version of the pile driver.
Bruno Sammartino feels that there's a strong possibility that hold should be barred.
Well, first of all, they have to bar the regular pile driver, or Miss Paula Orndorff's pile driver, the old simple one that anybody can do.
Oh.
First they have to think about barring that. Then, if they want to get into complex matters, get into complex compound matters, things as intricate and as detailed as my suplex or my wrestling moves or my holds, they haven't even started to write a book yet on things I know about wrestling, much less the things I know now that I've been incorporated with Mr. Fuji. So the Wrestling Rule Committee is far away from Magnificent Morocco, Mr. Fuji.
In other words, you're way ahead of them, in essence, really, is what you're saying. Of course. As well as everyone else. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with a little different view of the magnificent Morocco. With the magnificent Morocco.
Harder. What's the matter, holy girl? Harder for magnificent one.
Mr. Morocco, you appear as though you're enjoying this.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just summertime's upon us. No, you silly white people love to go lay in the sand, love to go lay in the cigarette butts and the soda cans and the soda cups. So us from Hawaii, we got to teach you the proper way to get a suntan now, and I've volunteered myself with 2 of my finest ladies, 2 of my little twins here from Hawaii. Had them flown all the way into TNT just to owe me up. Everybody else in professional wrestling talks about their ladies, talks about their girls, hires a model here, hires a model there. I fly mine in from Hawaii. I fly them in from Las Vegas. They are mine. They belong to me. They're in love with me. They follow me. But let's get to the suntanning part. Now, where do you think we would start first? Where do they start for you? Love those arms, don't you, baby? Where do you think they start? Where do you think?
Morocco.
In Hawaii.
If you're going to apply suntan oil, I would think the first thing you would do is apply it on the back.
That's exactly what you would think. That's exactly what one of you people would think, not the Hawaiians. What we do first, here, darling, hold on to these for a second, will you? Give this to somebody important like him.
I'll take it, thank you.
What we start first is right on the toes here, right on the little feetsies.
You start. I beg your pardon. You start on the toes.
Nothing. It's nothing. It's too much for me to ask my ladies to do.
Wahidi.
Oh my goodness.
Lome.
Oh, you have got to be kidding.
It's very good.
Oh, you have got to be kidding.
Lome. Harder.
And what about all that toe jam in there?
Make some sound while you're doing that. Let the magnificent know you're having a good time.
Yes.
That's my girls.
Very good.
That's wonderful.
Love.
From there, it continues up and up and up. But I got, what a shot that is on the camera.
But your toes have never looked quite like this before. There's no doubt about that.
They certainly haven't.
But this is where why
but I got all my kids, all my children fans, all my children of the darkness, all my fans of the darkness. We don't want to go any further. We're going to take it from the toes. We're going to skip over the rest. and let me slide over my abdominal maximus here.
Well, all right. Mr. Barago, I must say this is quite an experience.
Oh, this is an experience. This is an experience. And
Yo,
Mr.
lady,
Fuji,
Lomi,
where would I be without Mr. Fuji?
My son meditate very good inside. All around legs.
Yeah. Up and down the legs. Yeah, that's
Very
terrific.
good, you know what I mean?
Thanks a lot, Fuji. I
Very
really
welcome,
needed that.
very welcome.
I'm gonna slip off the table any minute.
Very well.
But
here
see,
too.
everybody thinks the way to get a right tan.
Excuse me. Ladies, are you enjoying this?
It's fantastic. Yep.
Oh, this is, I mean, this is a most unusual athlete, there's no doubt of that, and with most unusual talents in many respects, I'm sure.
Look how broad his back is. Look how strong muscle all around.
Take it easy, Fuji. Don't get excited.
Beautiful tan will come.
Now, let me ask you, Mr. Fuji, and some managers feel that it's really not all that great for ladies to be with a professional athlete just prior to competing. Do you concur with that?
I agree. Good massage. Japanese Hawaiian massage. Hawaiian call this lomi. Hard. Take out all the nicks and kinks. And make
Sorry, takes out all the what?
Nicks and kinks.
Nicks and kinks.
Japanese style of talking, boy-san. This is very good. Hawaiian style is very good. Lomi make man feel relaxed, very relaxed.
Well, now, is this done prior to a match, after a match? When is this normally?
This is before match and after match, and even in between the daytime.
In between. How often, Mr. Morocco, you travel with your lady friends all the time? I mean, is this an occasional occurrence, or quite a bit of oil he uses?
No, must have lots of oil. The oil, sun will come and will penetrate the beautiful skin, make it gold.
I do have a lot of problems sometimes. I have to have my bodyguards. Mr. Fuji has to. He's doing a good job of it right now. Yeah. He has to screen and. Boy, it's getting oily down there. Mr. Fuji, with managers like him, people don't need enemies sometimes.
Yeah, very good. Thank you
Yes,
very much. Thank you very much. I love it.
Yes, I would think so, but does that not keep you on your toes, Mr. Morocco, and keep
I
you
got it
tough?
on my toes, I got it behind my knees, I got it on my ears. You name it, that's where I got oil, thanks to Mr. Fuji. But we're having a good time because this is TNT, and I want my girls to be happy.
And Mr. Fuji, very happy too. I'm very happy.
Mr. Fuji, how much oil? A case of oil per month? And 10W, what's the weight of the oil you do?
1040.
1040?
Yes, very good for Morocco-san. Oil like this is very good too.
Yeah.
But must shoot more oil to make him skin come softer. Very soft.
softer.
It's like baby skin.
Baby skin?
And it's soft. Then a muscle comes all in between baby skin and make tough.
see.
Very tough, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to say, Mr. Morocco, this is, we thank you very much.
Iran has nothing on us.
Yes, I can see that. I mean, that must be, we thank you very much, and we'll be back with more TNT and perhaps with Mr. Morocco's lady. All right, we're back, and that was quite an experience. Have you ever been oiled down quite like that, Lord Alfred Hayes?
No, I enjoyed watching it. Doesn't he have a lot of girlfriends, that Morocco?
Does indeed, and very pretty ones at that. I would think it's most unusual, though, in where he began, the direction of where to apply oil first.
Yes, not from the top to the bottom, but from the bottom to the top.
The toes. Did you take a look at those toes? If it ever made one believe in evolution, I mean, did you see it? How long those toes were?
And he had webs between them.
Well, I'm not too sure they were webs. Perhaps the after of, I don't know, who knows. Magnificent Morocco. Next week, by the way, to join us, a most unusual, maybe the most unusual athlete in the World Wrestling Federation, a gentleman by the name of the Missing Link. Also to join us, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Also next week, we'll have Jesse the Body Ventura, wrestler extraordinaire Les Thornton, and now a surprise for Lord Alfred Hayes, who is just now going to be oiled down.
Gosh.
Alfred, what do you think?
Well,
Huh?
just a moment, God. Hang on. I don't think you ought to do this. I mean, I really don't think they ought to do this. Do you?
Then why take off the jacket? Look.
Well, I was just helping. I mean, I'm just, it's hot. Very hot.
Well, thank you for joining us for TNT. We invite you to join us next week for more.